The Vice Chancellor, Professor Abel Olayinka Idowu, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academics, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation, and Strategic Partnership, Provost of the College of Medicine, Provost of the Postgraduate College, the Registrar, Deans of Faculties, members of the University Senate, parents, distinguished graduating students of University of Ibadan. Let me start this commencement speech by thanking the Vice Chancellor for giving me the opportunity to speak with this next generation of Nigerians. I'm also grateful to the Vice Chancellor for giving me the opportunity to witness the ceremony, the graduation ceremony, because 27 years ago, precisely November 1992, when I graduated from the University of Ibadan with a degree in veterinary medicine, I wasn't privileged to attend the ceremony. So, Mr. Vice Chancellor, you've done me an honor by inviting me here today, so at least I can graduate ceremonially today. "27 years ago, 1992 to be precise, I was at this exact point in life, graduating from this prestigious university. And it was indeed a joyful day for me. So I know to the graduates and to their parents is indeed a joyful day. I say amen to the prayer by our Vice Chancellor that the joy of today will last you your lifetime. Looking back, Mr. Vice Chancellor, that indeed was the start of my journey into the financial services industry and the wonderful and exciting experience I've been going through as the undergraduate program here at Ibadan equipped me with the foundational tools to explore and surmount the challenges of the real world. And in line with the tradition of our great university, that our students must not only pass through the university must also pass through them. It is my expectation that your education, both within the halls of residence and the lectures of this great institution, has equipped you with some of the required foundational tools. 1, the requisite knowledge in your chosen field of study, a sense of community and purpose, the courage to grow and become who you truly are, and the overall discipline to stay focused and committed to your defined goals in life. My commencement speech is anchored on these foundational tools that I believe are required to pursue a purposeful life journey. Now, let me use the analogy of food preparation. The Vice Chancellor has graciously announced to the congregation that I'm from here. I'm an indigene of Ibadan. And I always announce everywhere I'm privileged to deliver a lecture that I come from a very prestigious city. One city, 21 towns, 1,681 villages. That is Ibadan. So I will use the staple food of my people, amala and begiri and the ewedu soup as my analogy this morning. It may surprise you that very busy executive like myself, I say create time to indulge in eating amala, which is what I eat very regularly. I have taken time to think through the process of making amala and how this staple food gets to the tables of millions, not just of Ibadan indigene, I would say of all Nigerians. Because if there's any food that we have successfully turned into a national meal, it is amala. From my little research, I found out from planting of the yam seedling, a new yam is planted, 15 weeks later is harvested, the skin is peeled off, the yam is sliced, is cleaned, is dried, and is then processed into yam flour. Remember that the same yam could have been boiled. The same yam could have been fried. The same yam could have been made into pounded yam. So let's pause a minute. Why are we then discussing yam flour? The difference between the boiled yam, the fried yam, and the yam flour is time and process. Nonetheless, both will end up as meals for families. That is the analogy that is going to define your journey as you go into the larger world. That is how your life's journey will be. You have studied various courses that lasted various durations. That is time. The process you've gone through differs. For each one of you, your defined journey starts on your admission into this great university, and it doesn't matter how long your process will take. Your final mandate, which the Vice Chancellor amplified like the Amala story, is to deliver value in as many ways as possible to our country and whatever society you will find yourself, given that the world is a global village today. I also want to highlight that you are graduating in a season where not only has the world become a global village, you are graduating into a world that is characterized by volatility, uncertainty, ambiguity. So all the trainings and skill sets that you've acquired there must be put to use. Drawing from my own personal experience, when I left here in 1992 with a degree in veterinary medicine, the natural thing for me would have been to seek employment either with the government or any of the veterinary establishment, or pick up a teaching assignment or start a veterinary enterprise. But I chose to follow my passion. Upon leaving the four walls of this university, I came to a firm conclusion that I wasn't going to practice veterinary medicine. And I will explain why in a moment. I was privileged to have a father of blessed memory that had investment, I will call them retail investment by today's standard, in various companies like Unilever, Nigerian Breweries, Union Bank, PZ. And as I progressed and I developed during my teenage years, I discovered that I tend to be more excited when I read about annual reports and I see the likes of Dr. Michael Omolayole, another distinguished alumnus of our university, Mr. Felix Oyiwere, and gradually I created a vision of myself. Where will I love to be after graduating? And I said to myself, and I came to a conclusion, I will love to be a chief executive officer of a large enterprise. So by the time I was leaving the university in 1992, I created a vision for myself of a boardroom player rather than a veterinarian. But like I said, by the time I was concluding, I was already in 500 level, so it was pragmatic for me to pursue my academics to a logical conclusion and use my first degree as a launch pad into what now I've discovered is my passion. And what is the point I'm making? Irrespective of the degree or the certificate or the discipline from where you are finishing today, you have an opportunity to follow your love, your passion, and decide what exactly makes you happy. After graduating in 1992, I served the nation in Bauchi, and I worked as a resident veterinarian at the Bauchi Polo Club. That 1 year assignment, which remains the only year that I practiced veterinary medicine, was very professionally rewarding and commercially equally very rewarding. But despite this success, I had created a vision of what I want to be in future. I refuse to allow that, what I call temporary opportunity to make money by practicing veterinary medicine, to distract me and take me away from my vision. Remember, I said my vision was to become the chief executive of a large business enterprise. After my youth service, I gained employment with the defunct FirstBank Nigerian PLC, where I spent 18 months. And I will tell you why I spent 18 months. During the course of the training we were given at FirstBank, one of the seniors from FirstBank came to deliver something akin to a career talk. And I asked what was an innocent question. How long will it take an entry-level trainee like myself to become the managing director of FirstBank? Again, going back to my vision, I wanted to run a large business enterprise. The man, the senior from the head office, took time to educate us that beyond certain level in the bank and in most institutions, the appointments are political in nature. However, he said, your technical capacity and your ability to manage your stakeholders will take you up to the general manager cadre. And he went onto the board and he sketched the ladder, and there were 13 levels. So I asked a follow-on question. For a smart graduate, how long will it take to move across these entire 13 ladders? And he answered, at best, you will spend 3 years on each level. I did a quick arithmetic and I said, 39 years to become a general manager? Right there and then, I started searching. I came to the conclusion that even though I found my passion, which is banking, I concluded that I was in the wrong institution. Again, I kept my vision on site, in focus. I commenced the process of consultation, discovery, talking to people, believing, again, based on the skill set and capabilities that were being given within the university. I said to myself, there must be a better route, a smarter route to becoming the chief executive of a large enterprise rather than spending 39 years to become a general manager. I was advised to join the firm, one of the firms of Arthur Andersen or Price Waterhouse. A French philosopher once said that chance favors the prepared ones, and that scientific discoveries, they are 99% perspiration, you have to sweat, and 1% inspiration. Achieving your ambitious goals for the future require that you have a strategic foresight and that you are deliberate and you act intentionally. Like I said earlier on, break down your vision into short to medium terms of 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Ensure that most, if not all, your decisions are anchored and they are within the context of your long-term vision. Next, I would like to talk about what I call the 3 Qs: intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, and your social quotient. You must invest in building yourself. By being here today, it shows that your baseline IQ is above average. But because you are graduating into the world that I've already described as volatile, uncertain, ambiguous, you need to continuously hone your skills, both technically, but more importantly, you need to begin to invest in what I call your social network, which is what the social quotient stands for. You need to improve yourself continuously in your emotional intelligence. How do you relate laterally, vertically, juniors, senior, peers, subordinates? Without those 3 Qs, you are not going anywhere. I'm sure a number of you are football followers. The examples I've always used anytime I have the opportunity to talk to this generation is to compare 2 well-known footballers, Ronaldo and Mario Balotelli. If you roll back some 15, 20 years ago, the 2 of them were regarded as the hottest football talent in the world. But one has gone ahead to win the Ballon Award, I think about 4 or 5 times, and the other one is even struggling to find a club. The difference is about your social quotient and your emotional quotient. It's about your relationship. It's about your attitude to others. Put differently, I always tell people that there's an equation that is very simple to follow. A plus A is equal to A, where the first A stands for your aptitude, your brain capacity, how much technical knowledge you know, how much technical capabilities you have acquired. The second A stands for your attitude, and that's the one that measures basically your emotional intelligence and your social intelligence. And the third A is your attitude. So a combination of your aptitude and attitude determines your attitude in life. This is very, very important. Class of 2019, creating value for yourself and others requires that you be intentional with your life decisions. From your choosing your career to building networks and nurturing relationships. You need to take conscious decisions around your career goals and be intentional about employment and entrepreneurial offers. You need to differentiate whether you want to have or you want to be. If you want to have, it's a bit short term. You want to be means you are investing in yourself and you have the opportunity to harvest those investments much later. In between 1994 and 2005, I chose to be. I invested massively in myself, and that is what has empowered me to get to where I am today. Any decision you take going forward will require you to be courageous. It is true that life shrinks or expands in proportion to your courage, so you must do it afraid. My decision to leave my assured employment in KPMG in 2004 to pursue a full-time MBA program remains the biggest career decision that I've ever taken. It was difficult and required a significant amount of courage, given my assured trajectory within the firm of KPMG. Again, I repeat, you must be bold, you must be courageous. When I was leaving KPMG in September 2004, I rationalized it that my downside risk can be quantified, which is I will lose 1 or 2 years in my career. But that my upside gains was unquantifiable. How prophetic that was. I challenge and I encourage you to actively seek opportunities and learn new things from different perspectives, and do not let complexity intimidate you. 2019 graduates, at your point of introspection, you will find that you need to be guided by principles, those of which you'll be known for. These principles are essential because they help you grow and create the future that you desire. Every individual and organization is continuously involved in decision making, and these decisions are reflective of your values and beliefs. Mahatma Gandhi was known for truth and non-violence. Mother Teresa was known for good works, life, and community. I've always been an apostle of working hard and working smart. To climb the ladder of success and widen your horizon for personal and professional growth, you will need to demonstrate the highest level of discipline. The very foundation of every civilized and prosperous society is discipline. At some point in my own career as an experienced accountant and management consultant, I left the comfort of my profession to pursue an MBA at Cranfield, like I mentioned. The key insight from this example is you cannot afford to stop learning. You must continue to invest in your life, and you must hold yourself up to the gold standard. Your personal discipline will show in your output. This is a critical lesson that I would like you to strive to inculcate in your personal and professional lives. Another life lesson that I believe will be beneficial to you is to live a life of impact and purpose within your communities and business environment. Some of you here will proceed into paid employment. Others will become entrepreneurs, academics, and industry specialists. Impactful living will require that you are emphatic. Empathy is an important skill for being a successful leader. Why? Empathy puts us more in tune with our own emotions, how to process and understand them, so that we can then relate to others' emotional reality more readily and effectively. Building empathy in yourself is then crucial if you wish to have a global career of learning and interacting with new cultures. Learning how to control over internal emotional reality while still being able to consider controversial or alternative viewpoints will help you to collaborate and work spaces. Mr. Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen of the academia, in the pursuit of building the next generation of leaders and entrepreneurs, it is our noble responsibility to increase the value of our youth, not only through the quality of their formal education, but also by infusing critical thinking, solution, problem solving. This could be achieved by leveraging online courses, revamping the school curriculum, as well as the provision of broadband access in higher institutions. To the students, as you prepare for the journey ahead, And as you plan to celebrate today with your family and friends over a meal of jollof rice and amala, I want to reiterate the following. Be intentional, have the positive can-do mindset, do it afraid, have core values that align with your vision, be excellent, be healthy, and follow your purpose with precision and discipline. And if you fail, rise and charge forward. On a final note, I leave you with this quote from Martin Luther King. If you can't fly, then run. If you cannot run, then walk. If you cannot walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep moving. Let me end this address. By stating that prayer is very important. But like I've always said, prayer is not a strategy. Prayer is what you say after you have implemented your strategy. You all go through different processes in your life journey, but our society expects each one of you to deliver tangible and impactful value. I thank you once again, Mr. Vice Chancellor, for the opportunity, and I thank all for your attention, and I wish the graduates of today a pleasant life journey. Thank you.